Growing up, my mom didn't have the best relationship with her family, kind of like how my relationship with our family is now. But I remember she had this best friend. Out of respect for him and his family, I'm not going to say his name, but my mama loved him. She treated him like he was her little brother. It was kind of like she finally had that sister-brother relationship that she always wanted, but for whatever reason, she never received from her own siblings. And she protected him and she loved him like they were two peas in a pod. If you seen my mama, you saw him. And then one day he started to get sick real bad. And I remember the last time I saw him, he came over, he looked so frail and he looked like he was gonna pass out. And the next day my mom said he was in the hospital. And it seems like hours later, my mom said he was gone. He was gay and he died from AIDS complications. And from that day on, my mom blamed his homosexuality for taking him away from her. And if I'm gonna be honest, that moment changed my mama. So it was very difficult to be a bisexual child growing up in a house of a homophobic mother. So I always known I was different. I first realized I was different in elementary school. And when I say different, I'm talking about I knew that I was attracted to both sexes and I knew that that wasn't normal. And I knew it wasn't normal or what was supposed to happen because I never heard any boys in school saying they like other boys, and I never knew girls in school saying they like other girls. But here I was looking at both of them like, Although I knew what gay was, I never knew what being gay meant. And I had nowhere to go to figure that out. I had no one to talk to about that because, again, the moment my mama gay best friend died is the moment she hated gays. So I kept my feelings inside for years. And when I say years, I didn't speak of it until I was 15. And the reason I spoke to it about it at 15 was because 15 is typically the age where your desires start to get stronger and your needs and everything start to get stronger. So I convinced myself that if I talked to my mom, it was going to be okay because my mom told my siblings and I that we can come to her and talk to her about any and everything. Nothing is off limits. Mama got our back, and just come to me. That way I can help you instead of you doing something and then you be in a bad situation. That's what my mom always told me. I was a little hesitant about it because my mom and I never really had the best relationship. It was a lot of colorism and favoritism in our family. A lot of people in our community often talk about racism, but they never talk about colorism and the impact that that has on children. So it was a lot of colorism and favoritism. I'm darker, so I was treated a hell of a lot different from my older sister. And not only that, but when it came to my dad, how can I say this? No disrespect to my mom, but this is the best way I can say this. I was the side chick baby. So my dad was married to his first wife. His first wife had some demons of her own. And instead of him helping her fix those demons, he started dating someone else. That other person was my mom. They made me. My dad ended up leaving his wife and taking their kids and bringing all of them to live with my mom. because that happened, nobody in my dad's family accepted me. And if I'm being honest, my dad really didn't accept me either. So for my mom, she felt like since he made that step, that meant that they were going to have a happy ever after. They didn't, because my dad chose alcohol over her. So since he chose that over her, it became very difficult for her to love me the way she needed to without feeling the hurt and disappointment from my dad. So I was made to feel all of those things, and I had to walk around with all of those things in my whole life. So to have to tell my mom this, it was very scary for me, because not only do I have this stuff on my back, but I also have my mother's homophobia on my back. And now I'm about to tell this woman that dislikes me because of my dad, that's also homophobic, that I think I'm gay. How's that gonna work? But I said, you know what? My mom always told us we could come to her, so I'm gonna trust what she said, and I'm gonna come to my mom. So at 15, I went to my mom. I said, Mommy, I need to talk to you about something. And she asked me what, and I just spit it out. I said, Mom, I think I like boys and girls. She asked me to repeat myself, and I did. And before I can get the whole word girl out, she hit me so hard. It was like, whoa. We were in the dining room. She hit me so hard that I slid from the dining room past the threshold into the living room. And in the living room, she got on top of me and just started hitting me, called me all types of dykes, hoes, bitches, cunts, nasty. I was a disgraceful daughter and all of this stuff. And I think the worst thing that my mom said to me that day was, she said, I knew you wasn't gonna be shit because you look just like your father. You cannot look like that trash and not be trash. That's why you a trashy ass dyke. I'm never gonna forget that. And at 39, that still affects me. So I remember I got so tired of being punched. So I just said, I'm playing. I just heard it on TV. I just wanted to see what she was gonna say, just so she could stop. So I never said anything else about it. I never said anything else about it again. I figured I like boys too, so I'll just date boys to make my mom happy. It doesn't matter what I feel. My desire is not important. My needs not important. I just need my mom to love me. So I just went along with it for years. I dated people I shouldn't have dated. I had some great relationships with men that I feel like they only ended because of me. Because I knew they were great. And they deserved so much. And I knew that I could not give my entire life to someone that I'm not 100% sexually attracted to. I just couldn't do it. I had some bad relationships where I was getting beaten, raped by the guy. I had another one who was just beating me. And it was weird. It was almost as if my family was happy that I was in them horrible relationships because, yeah, she's getting her ass whooped, but at least she's not gay. So now I'm in my mid to late 20s. I think I was in my late 20s. Yeah, I think I was in my late 20s. And I was seeing this girl. And I got to the point where I didn't want to see her anymore because she was a hoe and she was a thought. So because I didn't want to see her anymore, her retaliation for me was to call my mom and tell my mom that she was my girlfriend, and then she lied to my mom and told my mom that we got married in Vegas. Never went anywhere with this hoe, let alone married. And she then told my mom I owed her $500, which the bitch ain't had no money because she couldn't keep a job. So my mom called me and she went off. Again, she re-said everything she said to me when I was 15, and she told me how I was trash and how I was disgraceful and how I was a horrible fucking mother for being attracted to women when I have a fucking daughter, and that's nasty, and you're gonna, because you're gay, you're gonna put your daughter in situations where she's raped and all of this crazy shit. And I remember I hung up. I told my mom, I said, until you learn to respect me for loving myself, we don't have anything else to say. And I hung up on her, and me and my mom ain't talked for a year. Fast forward, it's time for me to get married. Who doesn't want their mama? So I sent out invites to my family members, my wife family members. My mama told me she wasn't coming and told me if I loved her, I had to call my wedding off. And although I love my mom, I was not going to be put in a position where I had to choose between my mother, who has chosen a life of misery, over the possible happy life I could have. So the day of my wedding, I didn't even think my mom was coming. She told me she wasn't coming. When I talked to her, she was still asleep. My daughter grandmother, my daughter, dad, mom made my mom come to my wedding. Is our relationship better today? Absolutely not. It's not. We don't even talk. At one point in time, we talked every day. We went shopping every other weekend. We was really trying to build our relationship, but because I'm a lesbian and she's embarrassed that I'm a lesbian, we don't have the best relationship. She does treat my wife great. She's very respectful to my wife. She tells my wife she loves her. She asks about my wife often, but she still does not accept her daughter being gay. So if you have a child that thinks they're gay or thinks they're bisexual, the best thing you do is just listen to them. Listen to them. If you feel like it's a phase, take them to a psychiatrist. That helps. Pull up documentaries and on YouTube. Let them watch a few YouTube videos. That way they can get to know who they are and become familiar with who they are, and you can get to know who they are. But trying to force them to be something that they're not is never going to benefit you. And what you're actually doing is being selfish. You are asking your child to trade their life for the life you want them to have, and that's not okay. A lot of people are quick to throw the Bible into it, and I can understand why. But you can't throw, how can I say this? Don't be so quick to pick and choose which portion of the Bible you want to live by if you're not going to live by all of the pages. Because there's a lot of people that has an issue with homosexuality, but is committing every single one of the other sins. Being gay isn't a choice. If somebody would have gave me the option back then of, well, I'm gonna give you this dime and you could turn your gayness off and just be exactly who your mama wanted you to be. Back then, I was so eager to feel love from my family because I never felt that. I probably would have been willing to take that dime to change. If someone gave me the option now to change and just be straight in order to make my family happy, I wouldn't accept it at all because I'm so happy. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life because I'm living my life for me, and I'm not trying to be anything and everything that everybody else want me to be. I'm simply Regina. Yeah, I'm a lesbian, but above and beyond being a lesbian, I'm an amazing mother. I'm an amazing wife. I'm an amazing executive. I'm a business owner. I'm a college graduate. I'm so many things. And then I'm gay. That's just the way it is. So, if you love your children as much as you say you do, them being gay or straight really wouldn't matter. And if you feel like it's too difficult of a task to get over, then you need to ask yourself if you wanting to control their entire life really worth losing them. Because I'm almost positive my mama probably wish her relationship with me was better.